time to get into a grand final. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Happiness, along with me, Starcoin Hero, for the grand finals. Dirty will be in the chat with all of you, so you can show your love to him directly by just saying it to him right there. But the grand finals for now, it's Scuzz Esports, it's gentlemen, and it's gonna be a banger.
It is going to be a huge banger as the first goal goes to Scuzz Esports, and the gentleman's defense is just not ready to get things rolling just yet. What a play from Saya.
Oh yeah, Saya's just doing a great job starting things off in the perfect fashion for Scuzz and making myself and Star look like we may be predicting the wrong way. I would just like to say personally, it was a 50-50 for me, so don't put my head on a pike if Scuzz wins this. But regardless, it's Scuzz doing a great job starting things off and letting everybody know that although it's since they've been on this stream, they are definitely taking the time on those breaks to keep themselves hot. Saya already looking for more offensive opportunity, but No Mansion will shut that down, and Lunar gets the following demo. Hockey almost able to put it all the way through, but Scuzz will be kept away from a 2-goal lead, and now as Aris trying to make it a 2-goal lead again, Saya might be able to do it, but no! It's barely off the crossbar, and the defense is not perfect from Gentlemen, but it's good enough to keep them at a deficit of only 1.
1 goal now as the offensive Gentlemen starting to hit the field for the first time this map. Harris, though, passes it off to Hockey. That could have been a huge connection right there, and that possibly would have doubled down on that score and put Scuzz Esports up by 2. A great redirect shot from Lunar, and he's got a little bit of a 1-versus-1. It's just Hockey to beat, and No Mansion chops that one down. Gentlemen strike back, and it is tied 1-1.
Lunar, what a great pass, and Gentleman somehow gets that one under Hockey. That is fantastic, and now already back to even. Gentlemen making sure that they are not left out of this series either, and everyone already can already tell that this is going to be a close one, as we've got 1 goal per team in the first 2 minutes of the game. We're starting off our grand final strong, and only getting stronger. Our gentleman is Nebra. Puts in another one. Another good pass from Lunar off that corner, and Aris just couldn't quite get up to it in time. Nebra's just going to drop that straight through, and nobody was there behind Aris. So Scuzz Esports now at a deficit. How can they respond to 2 quick ones from Gentlemen?
We're just going to have to find out. Looks like that one might also be on, but it's a little bit high, and the bar down does not come through. Nebra with another shot. It's Aris with a real nice save to keep this game within arm's reach. The clear trying to come through, but the Gentlemen just don't want it to go. They want to keep this Scuzz Esports team as compressed as possible and just keep them in their own half if they can, because once Scuzz Esports gets on the attack, they are very difficult to stop. As the whiff coming in does not help. It's Hockey with a great shot put on board, and it is hit away, but it's still dangerous until Lunar is able to get that clear, or Nebra is able to get that clear.
Yeah, Nebra does a great job alleviating that pressure for now, but there's no doubt that it'll be back soon enough, as already Saya looking for an opportunity in the middle of the field. No Mansion not able to deny it, but the crossbar will do that job instead. The shot on from Saya not quite all the way through. Aris was looking for that read off the ground, but instead now it's Hockey who might get the more threatening shot, but neither of them are good enough to go. So many shots from Scuzz Esports, but so many saves for Gentlemen as well as No Mansion. Off to the side, good demo for Aris. Might be an opportunity for Aris to also get a goal, but Nebra does a great job cutting off that offense before it can exist, or at least the offense from Aris. But Hockey will not be denied. That is until Nebra steps in, gets a big save, and now takes it back the other way, only to be denied by Aris. And so, Gentlemen holding strong defensively with this 1-goal lead, but it's not over by any sense of the term, and Scuzz with more opportunities to come.
Absolutely, and Scuzz keeping the defensive Gentlemen guessing. They're starting to switch it up a little bit as they pop that floater on up. Saya pops this one down. Aris with a great backboard shot, but Lunar is just going to get the redirect, pop it up, and get this one out of danger for the time being. Now he's forced to take this one over towards the wall. The pass is perfect, but it gets read by Saya. And No Mansion is forced to make a difficult read off the backboard. Not the best touch. This is going to give Eris a lot of space to work with, and the ball is completely free until now, where Nibra regains possession.
Nibra is going to take this one back, and No Mansion almost going to make good on that opportunity, but a good save for Eris. But they have to get things going now. They have to get it going ASAP because, well, they aren't going to have too much time. Scuzz, good saves aren't going to be enough for you now. You've got 30 seconds left to win this out as Gentlemen. Going to continue to hold the ball in the blue half. Lunar now coming up to try and continue that possession, but Saya actually gets the possession instead. Aris dropped down to Saya. Saya back into the middle. Hockey there, but Hockey not there enough to beat No Mansion. And now it's Nibra contesting Saya in the corner. 15 seconds left. It's back in the middle, and Gentlemen might have just locked it out with that one. In 15 seconds, Scuzz Esports need 2 goals, and it doesn't look likely. A miscommunication between Aris and Saya leads to an unfortunate goal for Gentlemen, but very fortunate for the Gentlemen themselves. They might just be running away with it now.
And it looks like they have game number 1. 10 seconds left to go with a 2-goal deficit. The musty fake from Lunar. Oh my God! Lunar! You can't do that! The musty fake, and then he gets the bump. He doesn't even touch this ball once coming down.
Oh my goodness, what a goal is that from Lunar. And it wasn't even necessary goal. They didn't need to, necessarily get that one, but they'll take it every day of the week. Gentlemen, as close as a game as this was for a while, they're starting to take a significant advantage, and Hockey's just going to let it hit to the ground. They don't want anything to get any worse at the very end, because Gentlemen were decisively winning that one, and, well, Scuzz Esports need to figure out a response, because although they had a big defensive performances highlighted by 5 saves from Eris, it wasn't enough, and there were just too many good shots from Gentlemen. Scuzz Esports put on a relatively comparable amount of shots. As a matter of fact, both teams with 11 shots that game, and not necessarily more saves on the side of Gentlemen. So the difference maker there is just Gentlemen, incredibly accurate. And it's like our wonderful, wonderful own Dirty was pointing out earlier. Scuzz were not winning because they had a little bit of an issue with the accuracy. He pointed out in our last series that he and myself casted together that it's so important to make sure you're slowing down the pace of the game when you need to make sure your shots are accurate. And right there, it looked like Scuzz had a few too many that were off the mark, and Gentlemen were able to win as a...
Yeah, you always got to be careful, as you can take a lot of shots, but you're going to have to put some shots that find the backboard. I like to say that just because a shot is not on target per se does not mean that it is completely useless. Like, you can take those backboard shots, those goal posts and crossbar passes, but at the end of the day, you got to get the ball in the goal. At its simplest aspect, Rocket League is a game about getting the ball into the goal. And if you can't put the ball on target to go in the goal, then you're not going to score very much. And that's what happened with Scuzz Esports in game 1. And like you said, they need to slow the play down a little bit, slow the pace, and just take their times on some shots and make sure that these shots are going to hit the net.
Yeah, and already they're starting off with more time of possession on offense. It didn't look like Saya was able to reach that shooting opportunity, and Hockey, though he's able to get there, wasn't able to put it on. So now it's Scuzz taking the first shots, but none of them are lethal. They've all just barely missed. And now looking for more opportunities, but it's Gentlemen holding possession for a decent amount of time. That is until Scuzz intervene. Couple of demos in the orange half. Might give an opportunity to Saya, but oh, wait a minute. That could be big, but no. Scuzz not able to capitalize off the bumps and demos, and now it's Nibra taking it the other way. Gentlemen could get a flip reset there, but Saya able to make the save after it's a bump away courtesy of Hockey. And a minute in, and once again, both teams are hitting hard early on, but this time around, nobody's scoring just yet. Hockey almost able to redirect that through, but Nibra's got a save. And Scuzz still in search of that first goal.
They are. And Gentlemen, we're going to set this one up. No Mansion, he's got a big opportunity. He's going to pop this low. The waterfall's perfect. But the third man on the play is a little bit too far behind. That's going to be almost on target, but the second touch is there. Eris follows it all the way down, and that one breaks through. Scuzz will score first in game number 2.
Guys, doing a fantastic job to strike first in this game. Doing a big thing for them. Last time, though, it was not able to work out. They did score first, but, well, towards the end of the game, Gentlemen scored more. But that first goal does usually lead to scoring more frequently in hockey. Is making sure this game goes different from the last. Puts a second one through already. And now Scuzz in such a good position for themselves. The advantage is expanding, and it's looking rough for Gentlemen. We might have a game number 2 going the way of Scuzz, evening the series back up if things continue on this path, but still so much time. It's way too early to tell.
It is. We haven't even crossed the 2-minute mark, and a 2-goal lead can be changed really, really quickly. As the demo from Nebra, not really needed, but I mean, you might as well go get it. I mean, it's there. Why else would that car be there unless you're going to demo it? And looks like it's not going to keep the Scuzz side at bay very long, because immediately Hockey strikes back with a perfect setup for his buddy Eris, and that is a 3 goals in a row for Scuzz.
Scuzz are doing such a fantastic job so far, and it's only getting better and better. And I know last game was a bit of a blowout in favor of Gentlemen, but a lot of that was towards the end. Most of the goals they were able to put through were at the very end of the game. Now we're not even halfway through. Gentlemen still yet to score, and already 3 for Scuzz. So that's the difference here. Scuzz may have lost the first one, but they are coming back in a big way for game number 2. As now it's Saya on the defensive side. And not usually where Saya has to play from. It's been a lot of offensive pressure for Scuzz thus far, obviously evidenced by the 3-0 lead, but again, it's going to be offense. Unfortunately for Saya, doesn't have to spend too much time on the defensive side. That isn't until Lunar tries to get offense going, but again, shut down early by the defense from Scuzz, and although Gentlemen will try as they might, it's just not going to work out on offense right now. I can't tell what's going wrong. It looks like we have a completely different Gentlemen team here, and a completely different Scuzz.
We are just going to see how disgusting this Scuzz Esports squad can get, because right now they are playing nasty.
Ooh.
As look at that save. Hockey flying all the way in to make that save. And now they're looking to score once more. And with that, 4 goals in a row. And the Gentlemen are really struggling this game too.
That is disgusting. This has been a fantastic game from Scuzz Esports so far. And what on earth? It's just, I don't know how to feel about this series. One game, Gentlemen are making sure that we know that they're here to play in spite of all the Scuzz support. And then the next game, Scuzz are making it look like all the Scuzz supporters were right all along, and this was never even going to be close. I am starting to lose all understanding of these two teams that I thought I had coming into this, as now Gentlemen have a little bit of possession, but they're just not really holding it. They don't feel like they have that confidence they had in the first game. They're just not in this game right now. They need to get into this one. It seems like maybe they're mentally out of it, maybe just a little bit of a rough start. I don't quite know, but I'm hoping that the Gentlemen we know and love can come back, because the Scuzz that we know and love is here right now. They're here to play, and Lunar almost able to put that shot on. Nebra wants to follow as well, but again, nothing doing for Gentlemen.
Nothing just yet, but they have a lot of opportunities presenting themselves, and they had a lot of time in the blue half, but didn't stay there for very long, as now Nebra forced to follow that ball all the way down, but it just does not want to go. And they're still trying everything in their power to try and put one on the board for a consolation goal, but I don't think even those are going to go, as that one's almost put on, but Eris makes a great save, and with 20 seconds to go, I think it's safe to call this game 2 going in favor of Scuzz.
Yeah, it's, I mean, not much else you can really do to analyze that situation. Mathematically, it's just kind of a done game right now for Gentlemen, and I think a majority of the chat, as much as we have a lot of Scuzz support, a lot of the players in the chat are going to be disappointed in that, because we have an 81% prediction in favor of Gentlemen. People are putting their channel points on the line, assuming that maybe it'd be an advantageous game after taking game 1, but, well, we're all back to dead even, and momentum is definitely in the hands of Scuzz for the time being because they've just taken that game in so decisive a fashion and sent us to game number 3. Now knowing that both teams have an absurdly high ceiling.
Yeah, that is one thing that we have definitely taken from these last couple of games. Both of these teams have a very high skill ceiling. It just seems like they get better and better each game, especially Scuzz. But I mean, gentlemen, we saw how they played a little bit earlier. They just got better and better as the series went on. So would not surprise me if we saw something similar as we go into the later parts of this game, or maybe around game 5 or game 6, probably even game 7. It would not surprise me at all if we went all the way to Champions Field. But we're just going to have to see how this game plays out, how the next 5 games plays out, as of course we got a completely reset best of 5. The score is 1-1, so a best of 5 is effective immediately.
Yeah, so it's exciting times to be watching the Frosty Sports RL channel. We are guaranteed to not have a sweep in the grand finals, and that prospect alone is pretty exciting to me. But both the games we've had so far haven't been insanely close. The first game was close for a while, and then towards the end, gentlemen just running away with it. In the second game, well, after the first minute or two, it just wasn't really much of a competition. Scuzz made it look easy last game, so coming into game number 3, hoping that we'll see our first real banger of a game so far for both teams is the best version of Gentleman and the best version of Scuzz. We've seen both of them so far. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not they both come to life at the same time.
We're going to have to find out here. Nebra looking for an opportunity. He's got the opportunity, but Hockey, of course, he just shuts it down as soon as it gets going. Now, of course, Hockey passing it upfield. Saya misreads that pass, so it's not going to stay in Scuzz possession for very long. Waterfall is on. No Mansion is on the wrong side of the ball. And Scuzz will take this ball back. Right now, we are just going team play to team play. And neither of these shots are wanting to land. Right now, we got 2 shots. Oh, the read! Eris with the beautiful read off the wall. And just shut me up immediately. With that, Scuzz strike first, and game number 3 is no longer scoreless.
Wow, it's just so fast. 1-0 lead that quickly for Scuzz. And I really just adore the way they were able to just get it to go. Gentlemen, unfortunately, just have it go in the opposite direction. Hockey now trying to get another one for Scuzz, but it doesn't work out. And now Aris can't quite deny that one. No Mansion puts that one on. Lunar, oh, just so close, with no cigar towards the very end. Just got denied by the crossbar. A little bit of a combination of the crossbar and the post. Next shot for Lunar is just off as well. Nebra completely misses his next touch. So now, end back to No Mansion. Not going to be easy to take this out of the orange half, but No Mansion is making it look exactly so. That is until Saya comes through with a big demo, and now Scuzz still at an advantage. They've got the ball in their own half, but they're making it possession coming out. As now, Scuzz Esports looking to make it another big Scuzz game, and they're doing just that. Aris gets it to a 2-0 lead.
That is such a nice pass and play from the Scuzz side. You know what? I'm changing my vote. Scuzz Esports for the win.
He's bandwagoning. The chat has changed him.
No, not a bandwagoning. I'm just getting with the tides. We're getting with the times, excuse me.
I'm just getting with the time. I'm updating myself, you know?
Exactly.
You need to make sure you're not behind. There you go. Anyways, you know what? Just to make sure we have some diversity in the broadcast, I'll stick with the gentleman vote that I was very indecisively picking initially. I'm actually going to go hard for it now because it's good to have somebody on both sides going for both teams. And Star and I, in particular, we're just here to watch a good series of Rocket League. That's all that I'm looking for. But right now, Scuzz are making it look like a blowout, at least these past couple of games. Still a pretty close one and almost going to get even closer after that shot on net, but it's not quite all the way through. And gentlemen just cannot catch a break offensively here. No Mansion trying to make something happen with that air dribble. Was able to get it close, but not able to get it close enough. And Saya is going to deny defensively, do a great job holding strong. Hockey as well, taking it out, but no Mansion. Going to try and make it more offense for Gentlemen. But again, it's just unfortunate. Every time Gentlemen get into the blue half, they get shut down.
They do, and this ball always wants to fall back into that orange half. And Hockey trying to get it a little bit further. A great team pinch, but it is also red, and Gentlemen not going to let that ball get away from him that easily. And Hockey now once again fakes out the first and gets the ball over the second, but he does get bumped. That's going to make this a very awkward situation. No Mansion with a great pass, but Hockey reads it real nice, and now this ball is still stuck right off to the side of the goal until Eris gets the booming clear over to the corner.
Might have been a little bit of a Rule 1 breakdown. I'm just trying to make sure everybody's on the same page. I don't know if it was No Mansion or Saya. I think those were the two players caught in it. I'm not exactly sure who broke it, but on my screen I did notice that it looked like somebody might have broken it. Yeah, I think it was No Mansion or Saya. Either way, somebody jumped out of it. And so, the Rule 1 broken there, unfortunately, but, you know, it doesn't really matter at this point. It's kind of not looking great for Gentlemen anyways, so there's only so much bad karma you can get out of breaking a Rule 1. And so I guess in that situation, it's not going to get too much worse for Gentlemen, but I'm a firm believer in the fact that the Rule 1 karma does exist. It's very, very real. And so, Gentlemen, if it was looking bad for them already, I don't think that karma's going to help them out too much, as Aris playing so aggressive isn't going to help either. Saya going to try and get more to go, but we've hit 20 seconds, and I'm just about convinced that it's a Scuzz Esports win.
Don't think Gentlemen have what it takes for this one unless they can somehow connect on this. That'll be a great shot from Hockey. But the clock is ticking. And now Eris, you just got to waste some time off the clock. There's no way that those two goals are going in. That will be one last goal for the road, but more like a roundabout because we're getting out with this game. And we're going to get right into game number 4 as soon as this one's done. So don't go too far, Gentlemen, because we are not done.
Oh, absolutely not. Not just the Gentlemen in the server, but the Gentlemen in the chat as well. And I love the... as much as I did pick Gentlemen, and I do want to see this go as long as it can, I'm not favoring one team in particular, but I want to see Gentlemen make a comeback. I want this to be a close series. But the irony of Scuzz Esports getting a Gentleman sweep over Gentlemen is definitely very appealing. I'm not going to lie. That would be pretty funny. I'm just going to be upfront about that.
Yeah, that would definitely be funny. And I am a man that quite enjoys a little bit of comedy. So who knows? I'm hoping for the funny ha-ha, maybe the comeback from the Gentlemen. But hey, we're just going to have to see. Of course, Scuzz Esports 1 game away from series point, tournament point. The last week is getting close to the end. So these next couple of games, the Gentlemen are going to have to make it count, or they're going to have to count their second place prize.
Yeah, and it's absolutely no slouch of a prize. $400 going to that second place team, and $900 to the team that's able to win. And again, 81% of the chat was voting Gentlemen because they had a little bit of that extra game to watch after game 1, and they could see that Gentlemen were having a pretty good match. But Scuzz, maybe they were just trying to get the chat to think they didn't stand a chance because they've been playing lights out ever since that game 1 came to a close. And now, Scuzz Esports at the advantage, 2-1. But anything can happen in Rocket League. But like you mentioned, it's been a long week. Oh, okay. We've just had something drop. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know what that was. I don't think anyone... It doesn't look like anyone disconnected. I'm not sure. All right, we're just going to have to figure out what exactly happened there because they're all gone. And it looks like we're going to reset the lobby.
Okay, Nebra.
Okay, Nebra, go style on him a little bit. Why don't you? They might as well. Not much to lose at this point, but yeah, we are resetting the lobby. I don't know what happened. I am very confused. So it looked like Gentlemen thought they left after they got the shot on purpose. And it didn't say anyone disconnected. Maybe there was like a controller issue. I'm not exactly sure. But regardless of what the reason for leaving was, that was not really a fair start to the game. And also, not to mention, I think if whoever left first had stayed in, I think there would have been a save there. So I don't think that first goal would have gone to Gentlemen either way. The fairest thing we can come up with is to restart that next game, or this past game that we were just watching there between Scuzz and Gentlemen, and we'll get that online as soon as we can. But for now, it's just going to be, all right. I mean, look, maybe for Gentlemen, that's the confidence booster you needed, even if it's a goal that doesn't do much. Remembering, hey, we can score. That's a pretty big deal. And getting that first goal, even if the game doesn't end up mattering and the goal ends up doing really nothing for you, confidence boosters are confidence boosters, and we love to see that for Gentlemen to make this an even more competitive series. But that goal, as far as I can tell, does not count. If we get any updates from the admins as to whether or not it counts, we will let you know. But for now, it looks like we'll just be starting Game 4 over with a clean slate.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the Rocket League servers kind of bug out. It is a video game, and it's just like video games are not perfect. The servers bug sometimes, and it ends up in your entire team leaving. So we're just going to have a restart. We're going to be restarting from the fourth game, obviously, and score is Scuzz Esports 2 and Gentlemen 1.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but somebody in chat mentioned that a member of Scuzz had a very high ping on the kickoff. I'm not sure what exactly. That might have just been someone saying something, but regardless of what happened, we are starting this again from 0-0. It's not going to be a 1-0 advantage. That would be entirely unfair to Scuzz because we have no clue what happened, and before the goal went through, significantly before the goal went through, players had already stopped and decided they were disconnecting. So a good job to them getting our attention very quickly and making sure that we know that something's going on with them. So this should be a restart from 0-0.
And of course, we're just going to wait a little bit. These teams are getting back into the lobby, and we're going to restart from game number 4. It's just as simple as that. Not really too much going on. We are restarting from game 4, and it looks like, ping spiked to 400 off the kickoff.
I think it turns out that was the Scuzz coach in the chat. I was not aware that was the Scuzz official coach, but it was him saying that, hey, our ping was not normal off that kickoff, so they made sure that everything was all right. And now that we are all good to get into game number 4, apologies for the delay, but things happen in Rocket League, and a lot of times there are glitches because, no game is perfect. But regardless, 20 seconds in already, and neither team getting off to an incredibly quick start, but Lunar with a demo, and Nebra looking for a shot on, but it is denied, and now Gentlemen are looking for more offense. They're holding in the blue half for a while, already look like a much aggressive version of Gentlemen that we've been seeing so far through this series, especially through the last 2 games.
But they got to keep the aggression flowing. Scuzz Esports is a team that likes to take the money and run. Right there! Ares sees the play, and Hockey reads them all the way through. They just connected telepathically. It's so beautiful. And like I was saying, they take the money and run. They see something, they do something, and they change that score on the board.
Yeah, taking the money and run is a great one because, well, they're going to take the money and run, but in this case, they might be running, then taking the money, and then running again because, of course, mentioned already that the winner of this series gets 900, and, well, with every single goal they score, it looks as though it's only getting closer and closer to that $900 grand prize for Scuzz Esports. Of course, Gentlemen, though, very far from out of it. 2 games for Scuzz, 1 for Gentlemen, and then not only is it only 2 games in for Scuzz, 1 games in for Scuzz so far, but we still have plenty of time, and comebacks have been made, but Saya doesn't like the idea of a comeback.
And he doesn't. He wants to keep the pressure on Gentlemen and keep a comeback as far away as possible.
Oh,
2-0.
We got posture checked.
Posture check. Sit up straight, Happy. Nick, you know what?
Yep.
I don't care that you're not a caster. You sit up straight, too.
Nick, of course, our lovely producer for the evening. Of course, always a pleasure to work with Nick on these Rocket League tournaments. So, definitely shout-outs there where shout-outs are due because he's been working so hard through really the entirety of this week of practice. If you haven't been with us for the qualifiers, we started the week on Monday with Qualifier 1, got all the way through our 5 quals, and now we're back on Sunday. Of course, Star and I actually worked together on one of those quals. We did the second qualifier together, and neither of these teams came from there. Both of them invited because we already know how good they are, and they're proving it again once more here is No Mansion. Able to get a big save to keep Gentlemen in this game, but it's looking a little panicked on the goal line, and Scuzz could definitely capitalize.
That they could. Scuzz Esports keeping this ball pretty deep in Gentleman territory. Not giving them too much room to breathe. Nebra trying to find this clear, but it's very difficult. A nice flip reset, and it doesn't go very far. Saya is forced to make the save, but the defense of Scuzz hold up, and the offensive Gentlemen have not scored yet, except for that wonky kickoff with the 400 ping. There's another setup from Nebra. It's still shut down, and Hockey's going to tap it on out. That's going to give the defense a little bit of room to breathe. And No Mansion gets bumped huge, and look at that pinch. That's going to send this ball all the way over back to its home of the orange half, and Scuzz Esports regain control.
You know, it makes sense you're calling it the home because at this point it's been so long, and it's just it always ends up. It always comes back to this orange half. It just seems the ball cannot escape it for the life of itself and for the life of Gentlemen in this tournament, which, well, you know, we're closing in on the end of, especially if Gentlemen can't pull anything out of the hat here or in what could be the final game, game number 5. But still, there's a lot of time left for them. So you got to continually reiterate that the series is far from done, but it feels like every time we reiterate it, it only gets better and better for Scuzz as it's back in the orange half. Saya going to go for the shot. Nebra does get a good save, but at a certain point, you've got to stop being content with getting a lot of saves, and you've got to get that offense going, and a Hockey won't allow you to. Going to put it into the middle. Saya can't quite reach, so a big save again, but 1 minute left. You've got to get something on the board, Gentlemen.
And there's what they need is a couple of flip resets from No Mansion, but Eris is just too quick on it. That'll be the 5th shot for Gentlemen, but I mean, you're getting doubled in shots once again. The score is 2-0. The shot count is doubled, and you just need to get more shots. It's as simple as that. You cannot win a game with your shot count being doubled, and it does not help when the defense of Scuzz saves everything that you throw at it. 2-goal deficit for Gentlemen with only 23 seconds to go. The save from Hockey might just be the nail in the coffin for game number 4, and we might be seeing match point for Scuzz.
Yeah, and really, it's getting to the point of no return for Gentlemen. Unfortunately, game 1 is looking further and further away from the reality. The reality we live in is all Scuzz all day through games 2, 3, and 4. They're looking for the Gentleman sweep against Gentlemen, and Saya going to lock in a 3rd goal at the very end just to take something home. Not quite a 0-seconder, so we still have 2 seconds of time to run off the clock, but it's still a pretty solid end of that series for Scuzz. They're not quite an end of the series yet, but we're closing on it because they've just reached match point.
They have, and we might just be seeing the last match of the Avalanche Cup after a week in the making. It all comes down to this. This is win or go home for Gentlemen. They need the reverse sweep -1 if they want a chance at the $900. But I mean, at this point, it's going to be so difficult. Scuzz Esports has everything behind them right now. They are out playing the Gentlemen. They are out maneuvering the Gentlemen. They're out mentaling the Gentlemen. They are outclassing the Gentlemen, if that's even possible. The classiest men on the planet are being outclassed by the Scuzz squad.
Yeah, Scuzz right now are on a completely different level of Scuzzness. I don't know. People have been using the word Scuzz. Scuzz. They're I know we already made this joke, but they are looking disgusting. So, I mean, people have been using the word Scuzz in so many different ways all day through the chat. So, you know what? Honestly, I think anything goes at this point for the word Scuzz is, well, a 4-1 might be on... Oh my gosh, what is that? Kickoff from Saya going incredibly aggressive immediately. I don't know if that was a Spanish kickoff or just some variation of it or what was going on there, but Saya was a heat-seeking missile off the start, but eventually gets demoed by No Mansion. So, gentlemen, start off with possession, as now Lunar gonna touch it off that back wall. It drops down in front of the net, but nobody's there to score it for Gentlemen. But No Mansion gonna do a good job holding this ball in the blue half for as long as possible because Gentlemen, they're hanging on to every opportunity they get at this point because they have been few and far between.
And they have to. Every opportunity that they get, they just have to hold on to and try to make something go through. Because if they don't, it's just going to get worse and worse for them. But with the rotation error coming out from Scuzz Esports, that gives Gentlemen the first goal of game number 5. And Scuzz Esports, very rare situation for them. They are starting off with their foot against the back wall.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, look, you take those goals where you can find them. For Gentlemen at this point in the series is No Mansion with a great touch there, able to keep it away, and Aris gets for another shot opportunity, but it's not too long of an opportunity there as it's denied by Nebris. So, Hockey now trying to go for more shots for Scuzz, but nothing working out for Scuzz. It's just all Gentlemen, at least so far. Defensively, they have been holding out so strongly. Only one save, but they've really just been preventing those shooting opportunities at all for Scuzz. And Scuzz so far have been doing such a great job dominating the possession. The time of possession vastly in their favor, but the shots here aren't landing. Saya gets denied again by No Mansion. So Lunar is going to have an opportunity for a clear. Sends it down to Nebra, but no finish off there for Gentlemen. But that's not too much of a problem right now. Don't you dare panic, Gentlemen, because you've still got an advantage.
They do, and they might be looking to double up here and make this a 2-goal lead. But of course, Scuzz Esports, they don't want that. They want to keep the Gentlemen at bay and try to score one more time and take this series in 5 and be the Avalanche Cup champions. But will that happen? We've reached the 2-minute mark, 3 left to play, and Scuzz Esports is still scoreless. They have not had many dances with the orange net. They've had 3 shots, all 3 of them actually have been saved. And they're going to have to get some more time in the orange half, which is usually the other way around. It's usually Gentlemen that need to get into their opponent's half. But Scuzz Esports, they have been shut down in this game.
Yeah, Scuzz have been doing such a good job so far. Really just holding that possession. But this game, it's been a role reversal, like you mentioned, as Gentlemen, they're getting shots on again, and although none of those just went in, it's still possession for Gentlemen, which is going to make a fantastic job, make it so much easier for Gentlemen to hold on to this lead. The more pressure they can put on Scuzz, and this is a position we haven't seen Scuzz in really all series long. On the back foot, Saya going to do a good job clearing that away, but No Mansion is there to try and possess it. In the corner, it gets corralled, but Nebra's been beat over the top. However, Lunar gets a really good clear. Now it's Saya on the sidewall, going down with it. That's a nice little flip there, but no, it's not meant to be. Nebra gets a good save. Ari is now going to go towards the middle with it, but he can't get that goal on. So, as many opportunities as we just saw for Scuzz, really, really good defense there, and Gentlemen remain in the advantage.
They're doing it with only 90 seconds here. Saya looking for a double tap. Oh, it's all the way gone. And Saya was controlling that about 75% of the way down. As soon as Nebra missed that ball, we all knew it was over. And Scuzz Esports looking to deny the Bakers reverse sweep.
That's not a name I've heard for that before, but you know what? I kind of rock it anyways. So, Scuzz Esports, they are absolutely here to play once again. They have been having a rough game so far, but Nebra, oh, he's able to sneak that in the right side. It didn't look likely. The bump plays were there as Nebra was getting escorted through that play by Lunar. Hockey didn't get bumped off but was sent off course just enough to the point where it's the near miss in front of net, and immediately Gentlemen respond 2-1 lead.
And those bump and chase plays is what opened up that score, because of course Hockey, he was trying to do everything to make that save, but I mean, he was getting chased off of his position. There was nothing he could do. And whoa, no! Ares has a long-range shot, and it just forces Lunar to chase it all the way down, but he doesn't have the boost.
Ooh, that's an unlucky position for all of Gentlemen, and in the same way that the goal before was just so, it wasn't as much skill oriented as much as it was just like the shot itself wasn't very difficult earlier on, or at least, actually no, that's kind of taking credit away from Lunar. Lunar had a really tough shot to actually score on there, and he's got another tough one to try and get through, but Ares gets a really good save in front of net. Now it's No Mention sending up to the back wall, wants the read, can't get by Hockey though, a brick wall in front of net. On this side is Scuzz, and they're refusing to let anything through now as Lunar, try as you might, can't get it all the way in. Ares can't get anything going on the other side though now, so Scuzz. 15 seconds left and they might have the advantage. Who's home? It's No Mansion. Able to get that save in now. Scuzz continuing to hold this pressure. Will they be able to end it in regulation? Could be one last-ditch effort, but No Mention puts it middle. It could be Niebuhr to do instead. Now Lunar wants the shot, but Saya able to deny. Trying to push it forward now for Scuzz, but it's hit the ground. And so close between these two, but we've got OT.
Yes, we do. Game number 5, and this is golden goal for Scuzz. They get this goal, they have won. They take the gold medal, they take the first place prize, and they take home the glory. But can they get it done? Saya looking to do it. A great read off the backboard, but the second man's not there. The set reset is there. Ares top left corner. It's a little bit too high and wide, and now No Mansion is going to slow this pace down, keep things going. Lunar opportunity. The wheel shot is hit away by Ares. Gentlemen doing everything they can to stay in this game, and Scuzz Esports just trying to get this ball out of their own half, but it's so difficult when you got the Gentlemen just applying pressure at every part of the body.
Yeah, so Gentlemen continuing to do a great job on offense, but Hockey's left at middle, so could be an opportunity. No, not quite. Ares a little too far off to the side. Now Lunar sent it over both Ares and Saya, so it's just left to the final defender for Scuzz, but never mind. Ares is able to get a crucial demo to keep the pressure off for now for Scuzz, but pressure back on is Niebuhr with a big bump, and that shot's through! No Mention keeps Gentlemen alive, as you can't kill them quite yet, Scuzz. And although they've been playing a fantastic game, the Gentlemen sweep is denied, and we will go into game number 6.
Almost done. Gentlemen, stay alive for one more game, and we are going to game number 6. Gentlemen, they played so well in that game. That was a really close game, a very hard-fought battle, and the Gentlemen just come out on top, and they need to do that 2 more times if they want to win. Gentlemen, they got a lot more time in the opposition's half of the field, and that's what really opened up the scoring possibilities. It's not the fact that they couldn't land their shots, it's the fact that they couldn't get the shots, and as soon as they're able to get the shots, they win the very next match. And if they can do that again, it would not surprise me if we are going to game number 7, but we still got one more game before it.
It's been living up. That game single-handedly lived up to the hype, and then at the very end, Gentlemen just barely able to keep themselves alive. It felt like Scuzz were practically on a path to destiny to get those 4 in a row, but it's not meant to be. Barely denied of their opportunity to win it out after losing the first one, getting 4 straight. It's not meant to be for Scuzz quite yet. However, they're still definitely in the advantage. They've got 2 games in a row they would need to lose in order to not win this series, and well, Scuzz aren't the type of team that loses 3 consecutive, but then again, I wouldn't have said Gentlemen are the type to do that either, and they lost 3 consecutive just now, so really, I'm prepared for just about anything, as the kickoff already good for Gentlemen. Could be a quick scoring opportunity, but it's denied by Ares.
What are we going to see here? Gentlemen getting the great start off the kickoff. And a nice awkward touch by Nebra is exactly what the Gentlemen need to get the scoring started. No Mansion taking to the sky. It's going to be off the backboard. Such a weird spot for Scuzz, and that might be the key to victory. If the Gentlemen can make Scuzz awkward, then they might have a great shot at opening the score line and finding the blue net and making the ball get its new home.
Yeah, it's just been so close so many times already for Gentlemen, so it looks like they're picking up where they left off last time, but I know that it's not going to be allowed easily by Hockey, Ariz, and Saya. So now it's Nebra trying to take it up. No Mention with a little bit of a redirect attempt, but it's not necessary. Hockey just doesn't quite get on for the squishy save, maybe anticipating the touch from No Mansion. But regardless of what it was anticipating, Nebra able to sneak it in the right side, and Gentlemen off to a lead once more.
And that's what they need to do. They need to keep holding Scuzz back. So far, 0 shots have been put on the scoreboard for Scuzz. The Gentlemen, they just need to keep pounding the shots on. It doesn't matter if you have a 10% shot take rate or a 50% shot accuracy rate. If Scuzz Esports does not have a single shot, you're probably going to win. And when Lunar keeps on putting the pain to the Scuzz squad, it's going to be real nice and easy.
Yeah, so Lunar going to make it a 2-goal lead now, and it's just getting better and better for Gentlemen, at least so far through game number 6, and it's just getting better and better. As, wow, Hockey trying to do something, but I mean, it feels like the momentum for Scuzz has been shut down pretty quickly, but it could come back at any time. But the time is not now. Lunar gets a 3rd one through. And now Nebra with a great pass there as well. Aris just barely off, and Saya just a little bit too late on that comeback. A 3-0 lead for Gentlemen, a minute and a half through.
Gentlemen now getting to the cursed scoreline of 3-0. It just seems like bad stuff happens once you get up by 3. But can Gentlemen be the exception? Of course, they are going to keep the pressure on, and they don't believe in those little stipulations and the, what's the word? They don't believe in luck and bad luck and all of those crazy things. What's the word I'm looking for? Start with that. Superstitions.
No, superstitions. There we go. Well, maybe they need to start believing in superstitions, because what they believe in, at least right now, has not been working in game number 4. It's really just a complete shift of the momentum as Nebra makes it a 4-0 lead, and we are only 2 minutes and 4 seconds into game number 6. So it's just, I don't even know how they did it so quickly.
Not sure either, but one thing about getting a comeback this quickly is we're not even halfway through, and it seems like a very wide margin, but this is still comebackable. If Gentlemen can score 5 in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, then Scuzz Esports can score 5 in 2 minutes and 45.
We do, I mean, they can do that. If they could score, yeah, it's still more time remaining on the clock than we have gotten to. Majority of the game is going, it's not done. It's gonna still yet to happen. Words are really hard sometimes, but regardless, Hockey trying to make it something for Scuzz, but it's not quite there. 5-0, still the advantage for the Gentlemen. And, well, Scuzz, at this point, maybe, I don't know if you should do a go next mentality just yet. There's still time left, and you've still got players like Ariz who can take anything and make it a big play, but not quite able to do just that. Lunar is still back defensively, and Gentlemen are still very much at the advantage. Now it's Nebra trying to move up the field. Gets a nice little touch as that one goes to the ground. Wants to pass mid as well, but maybe looking for a little too much. Never mind. Gets the pass. Gets the goal straight through. 6-0 lead now for No Mansion and company. Is that one just gets through really without contest. Lunar with a fantastic bump, and Ariz was the only one back.
And what happened between game 5 and, or what happened between game 4 and 5? Like, it just seems like everything completely switched. Gentlemen have gotten, I believe, what is it, 8 unanswered goals in a row. And Scuzz, I think now might be the time for that go next mentality. 6 goals is quite a lead to come back from, and they only got 90 seconds to do so. Not sure if this is happening. We do have a possibility for maybe a couple of goals scored by Scuzz Esports, maybe even a Brazil if gentlemen get one more and Scuzz can get that ball into the net. We're just going to have to find out, as Lunar looking for the 7th goal of the gentleman, but hockey's not going to let that one go through. And now we're going to go the other way for just a little bit.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, like you mentioned, the Brazil, every time one team closes in on that 7 and the other team either hasn't scored or only has 1 goal, you would be forgiven for thinking about Brazil first because, well, it's just natural at this point. Like, I watch Valorant, I watch CSGO, and when I see a 7-1, I'm thinking Brazil, and Lunar's thinking Brazil as well. And, well, it's getting better and better for gentlemen. Now, it's just going to be a matter of whether or not they let one up to Scuzz or not, but I don't think they're really thinking too hard about a 7-1 scoreline. They're thinking, let's put everything on the board that we possibly can to let them know they are not getting this series for free. We may have almost been down and out, but we're about to send this to game number 7.
And how do you have that much trust in your teammate? Nibra, he just dumps it off to his teammate, and before the ball even touches him, he's in the air, in the perfect spot for that ball. I might just be talking about this for the last 30 seconds of this game. What in the world was that?
I mean, yeah, that's just what you see with teams at the skill level of these guys. It's just they depend on each other so much, but you're able to do that, and it's so fun to watch as somebody who peaked, like, not really that high, but, like, I don't know, it was like I hit Grand Champ once, but I'm not nearly qualified to even try and understand what's going on here because, like, you know, it's just so high level, the amount of dependency they have on their teammates that they can get away with. It's so hard. I can't even begin to understand the intricacies of the way these guys play. And you're pointing it out so well by saying that is we get to game number 7. This is where we've wanted to get all series long, and we made it. Ladies and gentlemen, well, that's a little ironic, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to the final game, and the Frost Esports Avalanche Cup will be decided on Champions Field. Gentlemen, coming off of an absolute heater, but it's just one game. No matter how many goals you score in that one game, it's only one game, and the best of 7 isn't going to award you extra games because you got such a decisive win in one of them. Gentlemen, got to game 7 all the same off the back of 7 straight goals in this game alone. And now Scuzz, they had 3 consecutive games through games 2, 3, and 4. It's been a while since we've seen them show up in their peak form. Hopefully for their sake and for the sake of all the Scuzz fans that are oh so numerous in the chat, we will see peak Scuzz and see peak gentlemen at the same time. Game 7 is upon us, and I think we've all earned it. We've had enough of a night tonight.
That we have, but here we are, a week in the making. We are down to the last 2 teams. One game to decide who is the champion, and what better place to decide it than the one and only Champions Field. Scuzz Esports versus gentlemen. It does not get better than this.
It really doesn't. Is Scuzz already coming out the gates much more aggressive than the last. They know what they have to do to get this W, and they're doing it. They've already learned from the last game. Maybe gentlemen went a little too hard in that last one because they might just have shown Scuzz exactly what they need to adjust, or maybe gentlemen are going to continue to have a great game here. It's starting off well. No Mansion already gets the first one for gentlemen, and they are looking as classy as ever on the field. Hockey touched it down, but wasn't able to follow the touch, and No Mansion gets it through. Gentlemen 1-0 lead.
And that, I believe, is 9 goals unanswered for gentlemen. Scuzz Esports, what has happened? They have got to revive that peak Scuzzation because it's just gone. I don't know where it went between game 4 and 5, but it's just gone. It's no more. has gone back to its home in Narnia. And now they have allowed 9 goals straight, and they're going to need to change that up real soon. This might be the time they need. The demo comes through, and hockey goes down.
How many shots does it take to get to the center of the gentleman's net? Already seeing so many on from the opposite side. It's 5 through the first minute and a half, but the defense is so strong for gentlemen. No mention, Nibra and Lunar, all of them showing up huge. As gentlemen now want to try and turn it into some offense. Scuzz, not going to give them that kind of space to play with, but hockey. Matter of fact, going to turn it around the opposite way. Wants offense going for Scuzz. Saya does get beat there. Lunar's been getting a demo as well. No mentions, just going to walk it in. 2-goal lead as gentlemen look to make the reverse sweep, but they gave up the first. They did get the first game. There's got to be a name for that somewhere in the book.
Baker's reverse sweep.
The Baker's reverse sweep. That's what it is?
Reverse sweep plus 1 game.
Okay. I like it. That's what you were mentioning earlier. Okay, I thought you were using that for the gentleman's sweep, but I guess I misheard that, so that's my mistake.
Nah, you are all good. I'm coining that term, by the way. That is trademarked. If you use it, you have to.
Oh, you trademarked it?
Yeah, $5 if you use it. So.
Oh, sorry.
I'm expecting it tomorrow.
I've basically lost just about all the money I even. Okay, well, you know what? Anyways, we'll get back going into the actual match as Scuzz continuing to threaten the orange side net, but gentlemen are still as unrelenting as ever. Nibra, good clear down to Lunar. Lunar redirect not there, but gentlemen still have opportunities otherwise. They don't need that redirect, but hockey looking for an opportunity to go the other side. And although Scuzz can't get it to go there, still 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock for them to get something to go. And as good as gentlemen have looked, sometimes all it takes is one big mistake for the game to turn around completely.
And it does. And hockey trying to force that mistake, but it does not want to go. And the nice carry, but it's another save. That is 7 shots put on target for Scuzz Esports now. And the gentlemen just don't want to let anything go through. 2 minutes to go, and Scuzz Esports is completely scoreless. They've had all the shots in the world that they need. They're almost doubling the gentlemen in shots, but it doesn't matter because they are just not landing.
Yeah, it's not even sometimes that they're just not landing. They're getting saved away. And it's like our good friend Dirty mentioned, ever so Scuzzful. He's quite the Scuzzer in and of himself, but he was mentioning that accuracy wins games like these. And, well, when shots are not quite off, or some of the shots have been off so far from Scuzz, but as accurate as they've been, sometimes there's just nothing you can do. The defenders are playing so well this game that it's just really hard to get anything through. Lunar almost able to make a touch there. Nibra relied upon to make the touch on the ground, though. Minute left now. And gentlemen, at the advantage, they look like they might just be able to take this home.
They might just be with 50 seconds left. Scuzz is still scoreless. It has been 10 goals unanswered. I think the nail in the coffin will meet very soon. The preacher's grabbing the hammer. He's grabbing the nail. And he's saying one last prayer for the poor soul that's about to be put in the ground. 30 seconds left. Scuzz still down 2.
And they've got to get something going now. Saya not able to do it there. No mention with a great denial. And although hockey is able to get that touch over, who's in the middle to score that? It's nobody. As a matter of fact, it's Lunar able to get to it next. And with that clear from no mention, it's really looking unlikely. Saya, maybe one last ditch effort as he sends up to hockey. Hockey down. Saya there, but I don't think it's going to happen. Ariz, try as you might. It's saved away by Nibra. And ladies and gentlemen, the Frosty Esports Avalanche Cup champions are none other than gentlemen. They make it work. Congratulations to No Man